What is up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are here for episode number 5 of the Canadian Grand Prix. I apologise quickly for the lengthy break between episodes. I've actually been a little bit busy in and out of the house. As you can see here, we're gonna change suits. So this is the suit that I thought looked pretty good on us in season 1 before I did the first F1 video. So where the little white bit is, we've changed that to grey. I probably could have left the white on there, but I actually might do that in the next episode or so. So yeah, I apologise for the lengthy break between episodes. I've been a little bit busy in and around the house, but while I was doing or changing the suit, I thought I'd try, a few others to see if it looks any better. Comment below if you liked some of the liveries that you saw during these clips. So going into Canada, I'm feeling pretty confident about this weekend. I think Canada will really suit our car because, of course, I'm actually very strong around Canada. It's actually one of my favourite tracks to race around. So I'm feeling pretty confident going into this weekend. I think this weekend in particular, we can get ourselves out of Q1, maybe even push for a top 15 or a top 14, something like that. And if the gaps are tight, maybe we can push ourselves into Q3 somehow. I highly doubt that that's going to happen, but it would be nice to get into or as close to Q3 as possible. So we've got a couple of powertrain upgrades meant to come on to the car this weekend. They were fuel efficiency and an ERS upgrade. So if those two can get on the car in time, I think we would be more of a chance to have or be more competitive, because just like Monaco, the battery drainage was rapid. It was literally insane. So if those can get on the car, then that would actually be very good, because then we'll be able to use more of our battery. So changing components for this weekend, well, we may as well if those upgrades get on the car, and it would be nice because we were going to have to change components anyway, and just seeing, is there anything we can get on the car in time? I don't think there is, because there's such a short break. We could do rear downforce because we've got a lot of front downforce, but we need rear, and that'll go on in time for Austria. Don't think so about that. We can't do an major engine power upgrade. That would be lovely to get on for Austria, but we don't have the resource points to do so. We could target a drag reduction upgrade because we've got no upgrades currently for Aero, and that will go on for Austria. That's another track that's a slipstream track. I reckon a drag reduction for Austria will be pretty good. I like that. So, inching ever so further away from Alfa Romeo, and I think the quicker we can get these upgrades on, I think the quicker we can charge towards the top end of the field. I highly doubt it's going to be at the end of the year, but I'm hoping that we can have a decent result this weekend, as of the amount of bad luck that we've been having, and yeah, like we need some luck to go our way. So if we can do something miraculous here in Canada, I think we are a chance. I definitely think that we are a chance. It depends on how we go and how things unfold for us. Oh my god!
But some of them have failed quality control.
Those were the two upgrades that I was just talking about. The fuel efficiency and the energy recovery system. Oh man, I would have loved those two upgrades, and we can't get them on for France because we've only got 37 resource points to spend. Oh, that is unbelievable. Well, we're gonna have to go another weekend without those upgrades. So heading into Canada, it's actually a wet practice session, and as you can see, well, as evidence is showing, we've got the damage module back on the car. And those who say that I fluke all the practice programs first go, well, there's evidence there. I didn't get the first lap done. Now, I'll show you lap 3 or lap 1 and 4. If you compare that with the average tyre wear loss, we've actually, you know, did pretty well with the tyre conserves during that run. So going into practice 2 now, going on track, this is something that I don't often do, but I thought since the track's dry and we are having a dry race, I thought we'd do a quali run just to see what it is like. So yeah, it's something that I don't do often, but I did in this session, and we are pushing it very much at the wall of champions, and we come across the line. What is this? A 10-8. So maybe something that can get us close to getting out of Q1. Nice haul of resource points, so we'll be able to rectify those powertrain losses, and we get more discounts for the aero and powertrain departments. So yeah, those 2 upgrades were, gee, they would have been absolutely awesome to have on the car, because I rate Canada as a bit of a power track for me. You know, you've got the middle part of the lap with the DRS. You won't be able to gain as much time, but yeah, that would have been awesome to have on the car. Here we go then, for qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix, doing the usual things, waiting until the track is clear. This is the first run in qualifying. I've decided to do a couple of runs, and well, there's evidence right there, sideways off of turn 1. I'm running 6-8 wings. This is a time trial setup. It's not going to be the fastest setup in the world or around this track, and a slight nudge with the wall at the exit of the first chicane, so now that's going to affect the rest of the lap and through the last 2 high-speed chicanes. So that is not going to be handy. Into the last chicane now, we cheese the last chicane and we have hit the wall massively. So that screws that run. What's the time? At 11.8. So that's basically 1 second slower than what the first run is. So as you can see, we've got cars coming out of the pit lane now, and that will leave me a nice gap for me to have 2 runs in clear air. So I've judged this pretty well. Some say that I probably need someone behind or someone in front of me to give me a tow, but I've decided not to opt against that. So third turn 1, nice and smooth this time, and we are up by nearly 4/10 already through the little chicane here. Again, another little nudge with the wall, but this one wasn't quite as bad. Into the second chicane. The rest of the lap should be okay because we still have the wing intact and we don't have any damage. So we are 1 second up as we enter the last chicane. Really throw the car in there. Probably a little bit too conservative on that run. And what is the time? At 10.6. So that's 2/10 faster than our previous best. So we're going out for one more time. We are finding more time than what we did. Into the last chicane again. I feel like we were there only 10 seconds ago. Sideways off the last turn. And that was a good run. It's going to be a near enough to 4/10 improvement. Are we into Q2? Yes, we are. I said at the start of the episode, our aim was to get out of Q1, and we have done so. Fortunately for Christian, he has not gone out of Q1. P18 behind George Russell in the Williams. Going into Q2 now, I've decided to go out very early. We are on the oldest set of tyres, which will be the first set. We've upped the rear wing from 8 to 9 just to give me that bit more stability in the rear, especially coming out of turn 1, because I feel like that is where a lot of our time is being lost. And we have actually judged this one a little late. As you can see, we've got an Alfa Romeo, I believe it is, of Raikkonen behind us. So, and there goes Esteban Ocon. I've decided to let him go because I wanted to try this lap and have a bit of a slipstream, but that didn't quite work out as he is already outside of 1 second. So I'm going to take you on board for the entirety of this lap. I feel like turn 1 was pretty good. Like, I got through there nice and cleanly, marginally up through 3 and 4, nice and easy. Went flat out through there. I think it was nice little screen freeze there. I thought it was. Through the second chicane, probably could have found a bit more time. Probably could have used the curb a little bit more, and that's something that I like to do. I like to use a lot of the curb here. Same here. I like to use a little bit of curb. That was a little bit. I meant to say a whole lot, but we still find a fair bit of time. Nearly a whole 10th improvement through there into the hairpin. I like to go deep and make a late apex. Sometimes that's effective, sometimes it isn't. We'll wait and see what that does here. 5/10th improvement. We're going to have to absolutely throw it into the last chicane if we're going to get any slipstream off of Okong. Into the last chicane now. Absolutely throw it through there. Not quite as sideways as the running Q1. And it's going to be a 9.5/10th improvement. Are we into Q3? No, we're not. No, we're not. We are P13. For the Canadian Grand Prix, Perez and Bottas opting to start on mediums. That is interesting. And more importantly, we're in front of Raikkonen. So we've been our rival for once. And the rivalry battles are actually more competitive this year. So going into the race, I'm happy we're going to have a clean race and hopefully get over the line.
Bonjour! It's time once again to go racing here in Montreal, the second largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
But from the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle. And the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Ricciardo, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly, Tsunoda and Fernando Alonso. Hamilton, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Skip, Lance Stroll and Vettel, Raikkonen, Russell, Antonio Giovinazzi and Mick Schumacher, Latifi, Mazepin, Ocon, they've taken a grid penalty, and Christian Lundgaard.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Jeff, every time you say that, you always let me down. Anyway, into the race proper now. We are doing a 2-stop. I was thinking about a 1-stop medium to soft, but apparently we fall short by 4 laps. And then I was thinking a medium soft race, but apparently that is miles slower. So I went the medium soft strategy. I could probably extend the medium stints by 1 lap extra, so then we have less time on the softs and more time to utilize them. But just going through the race director, and a lot of the guys around us are starting on softs, so I was sort of questioning, did I make the right call in starting this race on mediums? Well, we're about to find out. 5 red lights ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix, and we are underway finally for the Canadian Grand Prix. Not going to be easy getting off the line, but it looks like we've actually got a decent start. Tried to get to the inside, but Hamilton is in the way. We tried to go around the outside, sneak up the inside, but apparently that door shut. We've got Stroll on our outside. He might get the position because he's on a softer compound of tyre, and this might be our best chance here at the end of the first sector to try and make some positions, because everyone is going to be slower ahead of everyone else. And we dive bomb Stroll and Alonso, not quite Hamilton, and we've been taken out by Fernando. Fernando has taken us out, and he has fully spun round. Looks like they've lost a bit of front wing. Or maybe 1 or 2 drivers have lost front wing. That is definitely Fernando's front wing. So it looks like he, while finishing us off, he may have just lost a bit of his front wing. We will have to check the replays on that. But wow, all that hard work and getting into Q2, and it has been destroyed. So yeah, there we go up the inside, and Fernando turning us around and then finishing us off, and maybe losing a bit of his front wing. We'll have to look at his... So this is his nose. There we go. Yeah, there's a sharp bite on the left front end plate, and he loses the right hand end plate. And I thought I saw it too, and this is Stroll, and he just ran into the back of him, and he loses his right end plate. So they're both coming in now at the end of the first lap. If they stuck it out, they're going to lose a whole bunch of time and maybe cost themselves a good result. So they're both into the pit lane now. It's going to be a race of the teams here, and we're going to see who gets their front wing replaced first. It looks like Stroll and Aston Martin are getting the job done. They're down. Alonso is down, and I think Aston Martin have won the battle. They have. Wow. Okay, so Aston Martin beat at the Alpine in the wing change battle. So back to our race now. So this is a stage where it's going to take a while for me to settle into the race and bring the mediums into the phase where we can push quite a bit and catch up to the rest of the pack, which is not going to be easy because they are on a softer compound of tyre. However, catching Christian shouldn't be too hard as he is battling Mazepin in front, and he's having a look into the last chicane. It doesn't quite get there. You can actually lose a lot of time just by battling into the last chicane. If you're going to make a move, you have to make it stick or in going into the chicane, and it depends what line you take. Depending on what line you take, you can actually get the job done on the inside. So we're actually close enough, or we're actually in DRS range, but unfortunately we don't have any DRS. Now it's going to be important that we manage our ERS throughout this race, and hoping that we get a safety car as Christian has a look at the inside of Mazepin, doesn't quite get there. They're both slow. We get the golden run, and we're going to get the both of them heading into turn 1. And it looks like no, we haven't! I was about to say, we've got the both, but Christian has hit the fence. He might be out of the race. Is he out of the race? Safety car is out. And wow, this is massive. We have not had the start, and we've seriously hadn't had the luck all season, and it's just gotten worse. Christian's lost his front wing. Let's see what happened here. I thought we cleared him. I thought that I've done enough just to cover off Mazepin. Let's have a look. And it looks like he just turned into us. I can't say whose fault it is there, but we'll have to look at a few more replays, and it looks like there's a shark bite on our right end plate. And if we look at Christian, is he out of the race? That's what I want to know. And it's not good when you see two teammates collect each other or collide with each other. Now, here's Christian. Has he lost his wheel? He's lost his wing, but he hasn't lost a wheel. I reckon he's still in this race. So we're on board with him now. Let's just see. Oh, he's lost the car before. This is real time. He hasn't lost his wheel. So, and he's backed out of it. So he is still in this race. Unbelievable. Christian, good on you for staying in this race. This is Mazepin, and oh, actually, that's an interesting angle. We'll have to have a look at that in slow-mo, because I want to see how much did he turn. So there goes Christian. He lost it a little. Turning, comes into us a little, and there we go. But you know what? I came across his line thinking that there was no overlap. I thought we got the job done, which really we didn't. So I reckon the blame is on me for that one. So I'm putting the blame on me. Looking at the minimap, and it looks like quite a few people are in the pit lane. And yeah, here comes Perez in the pit lane, and Verstappen. So Red Bull are double stacking. Bottas has stayed out an extra lap. Danny Ricci's in. Lando is in. The two Ferraris are in. Sainz will be stacking. Gasly and Hamilton are in. So, and Max has made his stop, but he can't move because Lando is in the way. He now makes his stop, and Verstappen may have lost out big time. Oh no, it was Perez. Sorry. So Perez was one of the first to come. In fact, he was the first into the box, and here comes Danny, and he couldn't get out in front of Lando before he arrived. So Perez and Verstappen are the biggest losers in this, and I think Hamilton got held as well, because he had to wait until Max got into his box before he can make his stop. So, and the two Alfa Romeos are stacking. In the meantime, Bottas has caught up to the safety car. So he's the real winner out of this, and we have now advanced into the top 10. And Christian comes in for his stop to change his wing. Here comes Verstappen, and ooh, not the first time we've had a close call between us. But gee, that was very close between me and Max. So moving forward into this race, we've gone into
Some information on Vettel. They are out of the race.
out of the race is Vettel. Oh yeah, there's smoke coming out of the back of his car, so he has lost an engine. So that is bad luck for Seb, and it's not the first time we've seen someone retire under safety car. Anyway, getting ready to go green flag race here. Now apparently my right hand side tyres are still pretty cold, so and we are still on mediums. We didn't make that pit stop. It could come back to us later in the race, as in good enough wise, but however, we still have cars around us on fresh medium tyres. Here's a good example. Carlos Sainz getting up the inside. There's contact between us, and we have a little nudge with the wall. And look at Max. He's already about 2 seconds in front, just because of us going side by side. But it was got to be a challenge to stay with the faster cars anyway, considering they're on fresh medium tyres. Here comes Sainz, and considering there's no DRS for the next 2 or 3 laps, he goes around the outside, but we've got the advantage having the inside and having a little bit more pace going through the chicane. Now Raikkonen is right behind it. He might consider making a move up the inside here, but I don't think he will. So we hang on for a little while longer, but going into the chicane, we've completely turned in too late. The understeer was incredible, but we used a bit of ERS to try and sneak away from him, and for Sainz to avoid going down the inside, which we managed to do successfully. So getting these tyres up to temperature now and getting back into our rhythm. Yeah, it wasn't easy, as Sainz has another look up the inside of the hairpin. We brake late. I like to brake late going into the hairpin. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. However, I don't think it works this time. Look at Sainz and contact. This is going to be interesting going into the chicane. If Sainz has the inside, we might back out of it, but we are edging our way in front. We've had to use a lot of ERS to try and stay in front of him. I wanted to try and fight and to see if we can gain or hold on to our current track position. We're in P9 at the moment, and we are just managing to stay in front. And Sainz has shoved us out of the way. We come back on pretty dangerously. We probably should give him that spot, but Raikkonen has the best advantage out of all of us, and he sneaks up the inside of us. And wow, nice sideways moment, Kimmy. So he manages to stay in front. There's a yellow flag in front, and we are now in our pit window. So this is like where we'll be pitting. And what's going on here? I can't see. There's Hamilton. Was that smoke? Was that smoke coming out of the back of his car? We'll have to wait and see. Lando's out of the race. What has gone on there? Between Hamilton and Norris, did they make contact? Well, I reckon Hamilton has had a problem before. So into our box we go, and why we're changing, are we? Hamilton's out of the race. So yeah, I thought I saw smoke coming out of the back of his car.
The officials are deploying the safety car due to multiple cars being stopped on track. Mind your delta.
Wow, wow, wow. This is almost a get out of jail free card for us. We've changed our wing, and the safety car has come out at the perfect time. But what I want to know is what happened to Lewis and Lando. Oh yeah. So he lost his engine in that incident. Wow, Lando, he's just gone into him. What on earth were you doing, Lando? Mate, Lando, you had the whole right-hand side of the track. You couldn't just move over and instead of taking in your fellow British driver. And this is Perez. How did he miss this? He broke obviously early, and wow, he probably could have gone to the right-hand side, but there is a little bit of a risk in doing that. So out we come now. This is the second time we've come out, but yeah, there is a little bit of a risk on going on the right-hand side, because there are the chances where you can actually get taken out if someone happens to tag another teammate and get spun out. So away we go for green flag racing. A couple of laps later, we've saved quite a bit of fuel, and I was watching the fuel load in this race. Up the inside we go on Bottas, and it looks like we might get the move done early. We're gonna have to make a move done early because he's on softs, so that confirms that he is doing and will be doing another stuff. He goes up the inside of Mazepin. We might get the run on both of them, and in fact we do. So we are up into P13. Now this is an important phase. We need to start putting cars between me and Valtteri, and we are on fresh medium tyres than those in front. So while Mazepin is in front of Bottas, which wasn't long, we're going to have to get in front of this train of cars in front of us. Nice slide from Latifi. We're going to use a bit of our ERS, and we're going to storm up the inside into turn 1, the first clean move of the race for us finally. And can we go around the outside of Giovinazzi? And we do have the fresh grip on our tyres, but we are going to have to bide our time. He goes defensive, not ideal. We are going to get a good run. Well, I was hoping we did, but we still might have a dive up the inside. We do. As I said, we are going to try and make these moves as quick as we can so we can put more cars between me and Bottas, which will be very handy come the next round of pit stops. And we bump the rear of Schumacher. Thankfully no damage to our wing through the last chicane, and this is what's been setting up a few of my moves, getting the run out of the last chicane and Mick squeezing us into the pit lane. But the last chicane is what's been setting up my moves, so we can get the run, get a bit of slipstream and DRS up the inside into turn 1. Sonoda is a fair way in front. I don't think we'll be making a move that far, but we can gain a lot of time going into the hairpin, and we've tried to go around the outside, and nah, he doesn't quite get there in the AlphaTauri, and he definitely has more power. So we were in a DRS trade, we couldn't get past him, so we're moving forward to the very next lap. Bottas is still catching us. We're going to have to try and make moves as quickly as we can. We think about it, and we force our way up the inside of Sonoda in an AlphaTauri, thank you very much, and we progress our way up another spot. However, he is having another look up the inside. Jev sent a strategy request, going an extra lap onto the next set of softs. We hang on to Sonoda in P9. So going an extra lap on softs, it may be effective, but however we do have cars coming in very, very soon. And I say that Ocon, Russell and whoever that was in front are all in, including Bottas. So he's pitting very early. He might be going on to mediums for the rest of the race. This is the phase where now we're going to have clear air, and the leaders are coming in to make their final stops as we are continuing to find some more pace. And Perez is the last of the front runners to make their stops, and we now lead this race, but probably not for long, as we have Danny Rick, who is going to storm past us. That McLaren in a straight line is an absolute beast. That really is. So he gets past us now. So now we're on lap 26. I've actually decided to pit at the end of this lap. Confirmation right there on the MFD. I've decided to box this lap instead of going another lap to lap 27, because we've got Leclerc behind us now. He's going to get past us, and we're going to lose time to the cars that we are going to be fighting for potentially points. So Leclerc is going to get past us. There's no point in us using any of our ERS because we are basically out, and that just shows that, you know, that energy recovery system, how vital that could have been come the end of the race. So into our box we go now. Soft compound tyres going on the car. 2.4 second stop. That's a good stop. I'll take that. And there goes the guys in front of us. Oh, little nudge with the outside wall, but I've actually done that quite a few times throughout the race, and no damage was really done. Lap 28 now, 7 laps to go. We now catch up to the train, but we're not going to be able to do much about it until we get to the middle part of the track, which is where we are at right now. So we get a nice run on Ocon. We're going to force our way up the inside, and now that's done. The plan is from here on in to try and get past Raikkonen and Russell as quickly as we can, because who knows what can happen. We could gain another spot if we can. Like that, we can see that Ferrari, they just exited the hairpin. Up the inside we go on Russell. We get that move done. It is Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari I can see on the leaderboard. And I think we're shaping up a move on Raikkonen, are we? Yes, we are. We are going to lunge up the inside. This car feels so amazing on soft compound tyres, I should say. Now, it is 3.4 seconds to Carlos with 5 laps to go. That is very doable. That is very catchable. For us, we are going to push as much as we can. It is now 1.4 seconds as we enter the hairpin. This is where we've actually gained a lot of our time because we are able to brake so much later on our soft compound tyres, and we've been able to do that throughout the weekend. So we are literally within DRS range of Carlos, and we are heading on to the final lap now. One thing that I had no idea about was our fuel. We actually are looking pretty low on fuel. In fact, we are really tight on fuel. I had no idea about this. Daniel Ricciardo has won the Canadian Grand Prix. Well done, Danny. Good to see an Aussie up there on the top step of the podium. But look at the fuel. We're in the reds, which means we're not going to get to the line going at full pace. So we're going to have to throw this thing into the last chicane. We are right on Carlos's ass, but we have our DRS open. Which way do we go? It doesn't matter. Can we get P7? No, we didn't. We coughed.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
We coughed at the light, and in the end, it is P8 for our first points in our career mode. Ocon gets driver of the day. How does that work?
Another race and another win for McLaren. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
It is awesome to see Danny Rick up there, and I reckon the McLaren really suited Canada really suits McLaren because, you know, they are such a beast in a straight line. And Carlos, pretty lucky not to lose P7 there, because me personally thinking that the hard it's not a good tyre to be on, so that I wouldn't be using hards around Canada. It's just not a tyre that you really want to be on. So a two-side medium soft will be a hell of a lot easier for you, so make sure you use some of my advice. P8 in the standings, what was the gap? 0.05. You know, if I was looking at the fuel gauge later in the race, maybe I could have done a bit of fuel saving, but I thought, you know, with 5 or 6 laps to go, I was looking at it and I thought, you know, that's enough to get us over the line. But apparently I was wrong. But you know, you make the mistakes, you pay the price. So that's something that, you know, I'll have to work on. But it just shows that how important that fuel efficiency and ERS or energy recovery system upgrades were for this weekend. They would have been, you know, so important for that. But you know what, it doesn't really matter because we're going to get those upgrades rectified for France anyway, which is coming up in the next episode. So France, Austria and Silverstone are going to be good power tracks for coming up, and pretty good aero tracks, because you will need a bit of downforce for each of those tracks, as you need downforce for pretty much any track we go to. So yeah, but in order to do more upgrades in the one department, like we can already do with the powertrain and the durability departments, we're going to need to upgrade the facilities. So, you know, we're going to have to upgrade the fabrications for the aero and the chassis, so we can do more than one upgrade at a time. And that's going to be important come the end of the year. So when we can do more upgrades, and you know, with the amount of resource points that we have right now, I don't know exactly how much we have now, but yeah, it shows that, you know, it's these things that we sort of need to work on. but you know, as you saw a couple of moments ago, we've got 991k in the bank. So being able to you know, save that money and build our acclaim, drive our team acclaim, and you know, when we can get more sponsors on the car, it'll be a hell of a lot easier. We can potentially upgrade the facilities quicker than, or faster than what we may think. And yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Smash that like button if you love this video, and subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new to see plenty more F1 2021 content. Quick spoiler alert before we go, I am also going to be starting a brand new series. I'm not going to be revealing what it is, but that all you guys know is that I am going to be doing another brand new series. But I will say one giveaway. This new series is involved in online racing. That is all I'm saying. So a new series, online racing, but I'm not revealing exactly what it is until we get to that stage. So yeah, and for those who are wondering where on earth is Breaking Point, don't worry, Breaking Point will be coming back. But until I can do more videos and also sort out this storage issue that I've got, yeah, until I can figure out the storage issue, because that's the main problem that I've been having, you know, all the storage issues. So I'll rectify that as quickly as I can, and so you guys can see plenty more F1 videos. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until the next one, I'll catch you next time.